Early this morning, I went to the store and did some food shopping and got some other things that I need. And I came back and had a little breakfast. And yeah, about an hour after I was done eating, oh my gosh, it was snowing. Yeah, it was like constant snow. And it was like that all morning and even into the afternoon. And so I decided to be a bear and hibernate for a while, and got up, and it's oh my gosh, it's horrible outside. Oh, horrible. Just a few minutes ago, the snow plow drove by. Yeah, that's how much snow we got. So, yeah, Cherie's in the background here, and she's telling me about the weather guy and how um, over there where she lives in France, they're going to get snow. Yeah, and she said it will be a catastrophe. She said, I guess it's not normal. Yeah, so. But yeah, here is really bad. I just hate it. Yeah, I really don't like it. I don't like snow. I'm not a snow guy. Yeah. Oh man. Um. Yeah. Just I'll just say a few things for the new listeners. Um. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Um. Yeah. Sometimes I talk about my experiences in South Dakota during the winter time, and yeah, sometimes it is a I'm just thinking, yeah, when back in when I still lived on the reservation, Cheyenne River Sioux Reservation, and yes, it was I lived most of my life on the reservation, and when you grow up someplace, um, you are just used to it. Yeah, you think that um, you think that what you're living through is you just it's normal. You just adapt immediately, yeah, because that's all you know. That's all your body knows. And so when winter comes, you know what's coming, yeah. And and so when sometimes there are years when it doesn't snow too much, and you think, oh, um, okay, uh, wow, this is an easy winter, yeah, because it because it didn't snow too much, and um, and so you think, oh, well, we're gonna have a easy time here, easy winter because there's not that much snow, yeah, because what is normal in South Dakota winter is minus 40, minus 50, minus 60 degrees. This is no joke, and I'm talking Celsius. Fahrenheit, that's even colder. Yeah, this is no joke. That's what we're used to. Yeah, and you know when you can play outside, and you know when you better not play outside. Yeah, and 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 then and when we go outside, we take our sleds and go to some hill and have all kinds of sledding games. We used to make trains, like a guy lays on his sled, a guy and a guy will be laying on his sled, another one will be sitting on top of him, yeah, to like riding him, and then the guy laying on the sled, he'll put his feet to an area of another guy's sled behind him, and then there will be somebody sitting on top of that guy. So we make a lot. We didn't say a snake. We said we didn't say a train. We said snake. Yeah, hey, let's play the snake. Yeah. So we do this, and so the guy up front, he steers. Yeah. So he makes it look like we're slithering down the hill. Shit, those were fun times. Yeah. And then we'd have wipeouts. Down at the bottom of the hill, we'd start wiping out, and oh, that was so fun. Yeah. And yeah, those are good times, yeah. And as you get older, and you have other things you have to do, and sometimes you stay up all night because unemployment is like 90% on the reservation. So what else are you gonna do? Yeah. So sometimes you stay up all night, and every 2 hours you go outside to start your car, so that way in the morning it'll start, and you can do your business, whatever it is. Yeah. But that's how we kept our cars warm. Yeah. To go out every 2 or 3 hours and start the car and let the car run for about 15 minutes. Yeah. And then of course you don't sit out there, you just start it and go back in the house. Yeah. 15 minutes later you go out there and turn it off and come back in again. And what's really typical is we had these. Some of you that live in snow countries or snow states, you know what this is. I don't even know what it's called, but you get an electrical cord attached to your engine block. Yeah, so you plug that in. So it's like you're plugging your car in, and this prevents the engine block from freezing, so that the engine doesn't freeze either. Yeah. And but then it's a good. We always, just to be safe, we would still go out there every 2 hours to start the car for 15 minutes, and this way we kept our car running. Yeah. So yeah, that you see that as a child, and when you become an adult, this is just normal. Yeah, this is just normal. This is just something that you do. It's something you have to do when you live out there. And if you're fortunate to have a job, some of us, we worked in the tribal headquarters. The town, it was called Eagle Butte, but I lived in a town called Dupree, which is about 20 miles west of Eagle Butte. It's like about a half-hour drive, and you have to be careful. Yeah, when you're driving on the road, you have to be careful, because when the road looks like it's clear, you have to slow down, because see, this is the funny thing. When there's snow packed on the road, it's safe to go at a reasonable speed. Yeah, but as soon as the highway clears, instead of speeding up, you slow down. The reason why? Black ice. Yeah, your black ice. I don't even know why they call it black ice, because it's not black. Yeah, I think they call it black ice because the roads, highways are kind of black, dark gray, like that. And black ice is like a very, very thin ice, and it's clear, very clear. And so when you're in a car and you look at the road, it looks clear. But if you stop your car, yeah, go drive to the side of the road, stop your car and put your foot on the ground on the road, you see that it's ice. You can't even tell, yeah, because the ice is so clear. You can't even tell that it's slippery. So you have to be careful. You have to really, really, really be careful, and because you don't want to have accident. Yeah. And this happened to me one time. Yeah, I was coming back from work, and I was the only one on the road, and there was nobody coming ahead of me. There was nobody behind me. I was just driving, listening to listening to my 8-track tape player. And all of a sudden, my car started spinning. Yeah, in circles. It just started spinning in circles for no reason at all. Yeah. Well, there was a reason, but the road looked clear. And what the hell's going on? Oh, my heart was just boom, 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 boom. And I was, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. I, honest to goodness, thought I was going to crash. Yeah. I thought I was going to have a wreck. And so I was thinking, oh man, oh shit, this is bad. And I hope there's no car coming ahead of me because I'm going to smash into them. My car was spinning, but it was taking up both lanes, yeah, as it was spinning. And then suddenly it, it went towards the side of the road and it stopped because the side of the road was dry. And for those of you that are in Europe, in America, roads have shoulders. See, in Europe, the roads are just road. Yeah, there's no shoulder. Yeah, unless it's a freeway or autobahn or whatever. But most town roads, there's no shoulder. So if you slide off the road, you're basically in somebody's field. Yeah, they don't even have ditches. Yeah, the roads don't even have ditches over here. So crazy. Anyway, in America, we have shoulders on the roads, and we have ditches. Yeah. So thank goodness. Yeah, this part of the road, the shoulder was cleared, and usually the shoulder has like gravel on it. So as soon as my tires hit the shoulder, I stopped. Yeah, the car stopped spinning, and I just sat there, you know. Jeez. That was probably one of the most scary experiences I ever had. Oh my gosh. He's oh, that was awful. Anyway, yeah, um so yeah, we that's an example. Yeah, the road looked perfectly clear. And all of a sudden my car started spinning. The road was black ice. That's the reason why it was spinning. It's black ice. Yeah, that's how it is. And another story. When I was a little boy, um, we lived where there was a big hill, and so that's why we used to always all those kids in the neighborhood. We used to slide down that hill. And one day it was after school, and it was raining of all things. Yeah, so it must have been about March, and by gosh, it was raining. So strange. Yeah. And we were going to the hill with our sleds, and we were at the bottom of the hill. We started to walk up, and it looked like just normal dirt. Yeah. Because it was starting to get warmer. So that's why it was raining. And so a lot of snow was melting. So we thought the hill looked okay. Yeah. So we were walking, trying to walk up the hill. Then we start falling and sliding down the hill, and I saw there was a perfectly clear coat of ice on the ground. I never saw that before. Yeah, just clear, crystal clear ice on the dirt. That was at a certain part of the hill. Yeah, it was melted, and that we were going to walk up that part and slide down the other side because there was still snow on the other side, and we couldn't even make it up because the part that was melted, it was you could see the ground, but it was all ice. That's black ice. Yeah, we couldn't even walk up because it we kept falling down. Yeah, and we tried crawling and. So that became an interesting game in itself, yeah. But that's typical, yeah. And then sometimes the winters are so severe that the snowbanks almost cover the house. This is no joke. They almost cover the house, and we have to what do you call it? Um, we can't do anything. We can't go anywhere. Yeah, the whole area is just shut down. You can't get to the store. The stores are not open because the people who work there can't get there either. Yes, it was very very difficult um, time. Yeah, but this is what was normal for us. This was this was not such a big thing. I mean, this was not such a big thing. I mean, I meant to compare that to something else. Let me say it again. This was normal for us because this is what we saw every year. Yeah, so we never thought our conditions, our weather conditions, we never thought they were extreme. For us, this was normal, and and you know, this made us tough, yeah, because we're out there, and when the weather was not so bad, but we could still play outside, we would, yeah, and these kind of things they toughened us up, they made us tough, and and so this is how it was, yeah. Oh, it was so I can remember lots of winters where, geez, even as recent as 1996. Well, actually, probably more 1997. The end of 1996, the beginning of 1997, first 2 weeks in January 1997. So we had an incredibly horrible winter, and the entire state of South Dakota and parts of North Dakota shut down. Yeah, just completely covered with snow. That sometimes in some places it was as high as 4 meters. That's probably about 11 feet. Yeah, that's how high the snow was. So and there were people got caught out there. Some people died. There were some heroic stories of survival, and millions of dollars worth of livestock was lost in this blizzard. I think it was over 100 million or something like that. It was one of the worst blizzards in South Dakota history. Yeah, the international media was flying over the state with helicopters, filming it, and things like that. And it's, oh wow, that was an adventure. Yeah, we had to there for a couple of weeks. We didn't have electricity. Yeah, so we had to really try to make do. We barely had heat, uh, but our tribe owns its own heating company, propane heating, and so the workers would they would tough it out. Yeah, they would brave it out with their vehicles and go around the reservation, filling up everybody's propane tanks, and oh, we were so thankful. Yeah, and my mother, she made this one guy some soup and gave him a thermos full of hot coffee. And oh, he was so thankful. Yeah, that's how it is. You watch out for each other. Yeah, when the times get really rough. And so we were walking around, checking on the neighbors, checking on the old people to make sure they're warm, make sure they have food, make sure they're okay, and sometimes we would have to bring a relative to the house because that relative ran out of heat or something. So in those times we really stuck together. And watched out for each other to make sure nobody dies. So that's normal. Yeah, that's normal. That's what I'm used to. Yeah, but I lived 40 some years with this kind of winter, and I got tired of it. I didn't want to do it anymore. No, I'm just kidding. No, circumstances in my life, personal circumstances in my life, brought me to Berlin, Germany, and I've been here ever since then. But what I want to say about that is when, as soon as it starts snowing in Berlin, people freak out. Yeah. I find that just hilarious because, see, I come from a land where some people would say it's extreme, but for me, when you live there, it's not extreme, it's normal because that's all you know. That's what you're used to. Yeah. And for those of you who live in states like that, you know that when it snows, you have to drive differently. Yeah. You have to, you just have to think differently when you're driving on snow-packed roads because you don't know there could be ice under that, and you don't know that, so you have to drive differently. And people in Berlin, in the city, they don't know that. So as soon as snow starts to pack on the streets, oh my gosh, you see cars running into each other left and right, and it's because they don't know how to drive in the snow. And so they end up, they think they can drive like normal, and they end up smashing into each other, knocking over trees and street lights, and and they think it's the end of the world. Yeah. I find that hilarious. Anyway, because of all the 40 plus some years that I've lived in South Dakota, living with in what other people would say is very very extreme weather. Living in Berlin is very calm. Yeah, though I mean weather wise, it's actually when we get snow, it doesn't last that long. Maybe in Berlin, maybe 2 3 weeks. Yeah, at the most 2 3 weeks, and then it's all gone again. Yeah. So I hope I hope that's the case. Yeah. I'm tired of snow. I don't like snow. As soon as it starts snowing, I go outside and stomp it out. Yeah.